We had a weird summer. On the last video, Elle and I were boarding a rust bucket ferry with our motorcycles on the Danube River in Europe and about to cross into Bulgaria. But that confused a lot of people. Like, Elle and I are from Canada, and these aren't even our motorcycles, so let's back up. Best day of my life. This job is alright. Here's the story. If they let me, I never go home and keep working all night. Elle and I were invited to speak at the Overland Event in Oxford, England, so we flew over for that. Elle and I presented there on Friday night, and I was there selling books alongside friends and mentors like Ted Simon and Sam Manicom. Kinga Tanajewska was there too. She's a famous face from the YouTube channel On Her Bike. There are other motorcycle luminaries in attendance as well, but that's not the story. The story is this. When our friends back in Canada heard that Elle and I were headed to Europe, they approached us with an idea. See, they had 2 BMW motorcycles that were stored in Portugal, but they wanted them to be stored in Bulgaria. They asked if we could possibly ride their bikes across Europe for them. So, yeah. The problem is, we had our flights booked already and we couldn't change the dates. That left us with a maximum of 19 days after the Overland Event to fly to Portugal, get new batteries for the bikes, load them up, and ride about 4,000 kilometers to Bulgaria before flying back to England to catch our return flights back to Canada. Doable? Sure. Margin of error? Slim. Especially because Elle and I wanted to actually experience some of Europe, do some sightseeing, link up a bunch of fun roads along the way. We did not want to just make the shortest trip, but challenge accepted. So after the Overland Event, we flew to Porto, Portugal the very next day. We arrived in Porto after dark and checked into a hostel right in the São Bento railway station. From the hostel, we took an Uber to the motorcycle shop where we had pre-ordered new batteries for the bikes. With that sorted, we Ubered back to the train station, booked our tickets, and hit the rails. The bikes were located in a small town called Outeiro de Gatos. That required a train ride, then a taxi. And then we had to just kind of wander around looking for the house in which they were stored.
Jeremy, you know where we are?
Not really.
I think we're kind of where we're supposed to be, but we're also kind of lost and we're alone and it's really, really quiet. Like, why is there not a single other human around right now? Hey, Jeremy, where are we? What's happening?
We're in Portugal in this very kind family's home, and it's an ancient home, and it's great, it's quirky, and they're providing us with tons of hospitality, and I'm so happy. We finally arrived. We're here to pick up some motorcycles, and we're going to ride them to Bulgaria.
Do you want to tell me what you're doing, Jeremy?
We're uncovering these motorcycles that have been in Portugal for a couple of years.
Yeah, a year or 2, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. And we're going to take them to Bulgaria, if they run.
If they run. So we got 2 new batteries over there. Let's put them in and pump up the tires and hope that's all they need.
Yeah, let's see how they look first. The bikes had been stored for a few years at this point, so not only were the batteries dead, but the tires were flat, and the whole package was covered in soot. Since the bikes were put away by our friends, the whole area had experienced a wildfire and the countryside was all black. Good thing all the houses were made of stone.
Okay, Jeremy, what are you doing?
Well, I'm using the emergency key because the fob battery is dead.
Right.
We changed the fob battery, but that one was dead too. This is like 5th time the charm. BMW has key fobs for keyless starting, and inside of the key fob there's a little battery. We changed them out for new batteries, and that worked for Elle's bike. It just started right up. But my fob never worked for this whole trip, even though we changed the battery a few times. I had to use the emergency key. That's a little plastic key, and to use it, you have to crouch down and hold it up to a certain spot under the rear fender of the bike before starting it. I had to look that up on YouTube because normally I ride a KLR 650 and I've never heard of such sorcery. It took us most of the day to clean the bikes up, get them started, put in new gas, and then organize all the gear. The bikes had been stored with a bunch of camping gear and stuff that we had to repack, in addition to packing our own things. Here, Ella's filming with one hand as she rides. You can see the black earth and dead trees from the forest fires. Originally, we had planned to spend 2 nights in Outeiro de Gatos, but since everything came together all right and we still had some daylight left, we decided to set off on our journey. Even if we only collected a few kilometers on our first day of riding, that would put us ahead of schedule. We hit the road and made it to Salamanca, Spain for night. I don't know what I just paid for this. Day 4 was just a day to eat up some kilometers. Our plan was to front-load the distance so that we could slow down and enjoy the ride a bit more as we neared the end. Also, this way we could adjust for any potential problems we may encounter. We hit the fast roads. Gah, look at this camera angle. Elle West, bless her heart. She often turns her camera on when she thinks she's switching it off, and vice versa. So I have literally hours of this camera angle. And then sometimes, just as something interesting is about to happen, she shuts the camera off and everything goes black.
We're still filming?
Yep, you're still filming. But I'm not complaining, and here's why. On this trip, as a YouTuber, I found myself kind of burnt out. Normally, I do most of the filming, and then I do the editing, but for this journey, I just couldn't be bothered. So, at this point, I didn't even have my cameras mounted anywhere. In fact, I didn't even charge any batteries until a few days had passed, and the only reason that this video exists at all is because Elle took up the torch and grabbed a few shots. Sure, she also grabbed hours of the top of her helmet, but it's because of her that I have anything to edit. Let's all say thank you to Elle in the comments. And YouTuber burnout is real. I've faced it. If you like this content at all, please subscribe to the channel and I'll keep slogging away. We stopped for a night in Lleida, Spain, and poked around this old cathedral. We're in Spain.
Yeah?
We're in a town I can't pronounce, but we're in the shadow, or rather in the glow, of this ancient cathedral. I guess the Knights Templar, like we're here. They were doing some Indiana Jones nonsense. Dan Brown wrote a book about it.
There's dead bugs on your camera.
Today is the first day that I bothered with my camera. That's because today is the first day we selected a road not for where it went so much as how it went there.
My spit might have a little chocolate on it, though. But where are we going today?
Well, we're going up and over the Pyrenees, is my understanding. I'm trying to figure this out on the map, but I've got a few waypoints in here, and I've got like a section of crazy, twisty roads. Yeah.
And we're going up in elevation quite a bit, so it might be chilly.
It might be chilly.
And it might be beautiful.
Well, it'll be beautiful, no matter what temperature it is. Our general destination was Carcassonne, France, but I punched in some waypoints on my phone that took us up and over the Pyrenees mountain range along the twistiest roads I could find. What do you think of those roads, Elle?
Yeah, that's good, but I still like going a little slower than you because there's so many corners. I am not even done a corner, and then there's another one, bam, and there's another one, bam, and I'm just like throwing the bike left, right, left, right.
It's electric. You put a leaf in between you and the fence, and it's just enough to let you know if the power's on.
Just enough, hey?
It's more powerful than I thought it would be. But I didn't grab it like I would have if I was in high school.
Okay, you've learned, Jeremy.
Yeah. We never made it to Carcassonne that night, but rather stopped at a little campground at a town that I can't pronounce. Let me try. Alais-les-Bains, France. Something like that. We used the camping gear that our friends had packed away with the bikes. It was a great camp spot and a lovely evening, if a bit cold.
Hey, Jeremy. We're riding motorbikes to France. I like France.
Elle and I almost never plan ahead. Not our route, not our hotels, not anything. This is a problem sometimes. Well, actually it's a problem often, but it does mean that we sometimes find neat places to camp, like last night. And also, we sometimes stumble upon attractions that we might not otherwise. Here we stopped for lunch at a beautiful town, and I don't even know what it's called. What's that?
Explain why I honk every time I turn left?
Oh, because your bars are tilted down, and so every time you turn left, the horn hits the tank bag.
Yeah.
And then everybody thinks you're a jerk.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
They love it, yeah.
It's a feature. It's not even the tank bag, it's just the edge of the actual fairing. So I shut it off so I don't honk at everybody, but now, that works great.
Every time you do it, it makes me laugh.
Good.
But also I'm embarrassed.
While the camera's
I'm
running,
embarrassed
so.
for you, which is like a large part of my acceptance. Oh.
Dong.
Our general destination for the day was Marseille, France. After lunch, we set off. It should have been an easy ride, but I had my phone set to avoid toll roads, so we got detoured onto some small tracks. After a few hours of this, with the sun getting low, I changed that setting and we gained some distance, arriving in Marseille around supper time.
Where are you from?
Canada.
Canada. Oh. Long street, long trajet, yeah?
To Bulgaria.
Bulgaria? Okay.
I'm filming, right?
Yes, you are filming.
We made it.
Yeah. I hate it when people do that, when they surrender their right of way,
Yeah.
because not everybody does. And
Yeah.
It looked like that other car was gonna.
And then are they going to do it for me too, or just for you? So I just kind of shoved. Watch out.
I think we're in a lawless town.
Yeah.
We poked around Marseille a bit before loading up and rolling.
Oh, look. We're in Marseille, France,
Yep.
and I didn't know this thing existed. And when we drove by and saw it at the end of the street, my brain kind of went, Pwah!
Right. And where are we going now? Why are we hustling and the audio's bad and
We
I'm just...
have 1 hour and 5 minutes to eat breakfast, not get lost, pack our shit on the bikes, get the bikes out of the parkade.
Classic Elle and Jeremy morning. The chip there says Viking Elle.
Yes.
So that's the new way that the Vikings travel.
Oh, yeah.
Less raping and pillaging, we hope, but still kind of obnoxious and devastating to local communities. It's the Elle and Jeremy time. You know what that means, Elle?
No.
That means it's 11 o'clock.
But we already ate breakfast.
No matter what we do, no matter how early we get up, no matter anything, we always leave at 11 o'clock. We were up early today.
We ate breakfast. We did a little sightseeing.
Uh-huh.
We are all loaded up and actually ready to go with a plan and a route.
It's the Elle and Jeremy hour. Although the weather was perfect and the scenery was lovely, the roads were boring because we had to cover some ground. That's part of the problem when one does not plan ahead very well. Before this trip, Elle and I were so excited about all the possibilities, like we could see Rome and Vatican City and Florence and so on. And we could have too, if we were meticulous planners, which we are not. So on this day, we looked at the map, we looked at the calendar, we decided to skip a lot of stuff in order to make sure that we had time for some other priorities. One of those priorities was to ride the famous Stelvio Pass in Italy, so we made our way in that direction. We arrived at Lake Como, Italy, around sunset. Lake Como is every bit as beautiful as you'd imagine, but like most beautiful places, it's being loved to death. The roads were absolutely choked with tour buses and frustrated motorists. Me? I was frustrated because I had made a navigational error that brought us onto the opposite side of the lake than intended.
Hey, Jeremy? Yeah. We're in Lake Como.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. We're here. We got to see it at least.
Oh, you're filming now, yeah.
Yeah. Anything you want to say?
Let's say everything on camera.
Okay. Not been the greatest day. But we're here now.
We had intended to camp that night, but the campground was on the other side of the lake and hours of rerouting to get there, so we looked for a room closer by. All the options were wildly out of our price range until we found an option above a bar in a little town called Dorio. When we arrived, the room was not available. Did I mention that it's often a problem when Elle and I don't book ahead? But the barkeeper made a phone call to a friend who just happened to have an apartment to rent next door with secure parking for our motorcycles. Once again, Elle and I landed on our feet. We went to the bar for supper and ate outside on their terrace overlooking Lake Como. Victory!
What are you doing?
Elle, do you know what we're doing today?
We're packing to get ready to go on the bikes.
We're riding the Stelvio Pass in Italy. And do you know what? Yeah, do you know what else?
What?
There's a guy that's got an entire YouTube channel for one corner on the Stelvio Pass where people keep dropping their bikes and crashing. So we might see him today, but let's not be on his channel.
I don't want to be on his channel.
No. Elle, you ready to go?
Earplugs, head rag, chocolate, helmet.
Today is a big day for us as we finally get to ride the famous Stelvio Pass in Italy. You can tell it's a big day because I actually broke through my YouTuber burnout and charged up a second camera. Look, the Stelvio Pass in Italy is a destination highway for motorists. In a summary video like this one, I just can't cover it in enough detail nor with enough enthusiasm. So I made a separate, full-length video just for Stelvio Pass. I'll link to it at the end of this video. You gotta check it out, both the full video and Stelvio Pass itself. We ended up in Murano, Italy for night. Another day, another stunning Alpine pass. This time we rode from Italy to Austria over the Timmelsjoch pass, and again, this road is too much for a summary video. I made a full-length video of this day too, and I'll link to that at the end of this video. Rain day. Horrible. This is the only photo. Budapest for night. For the first time since we left England, Elle and I booked into a place for 2 nights, and we took an entire day in Budapest to rest and look around. We're in Budapest. We're at the Fisherman's Bastion. I was in this church in 1995 when I had like a really awesome experience.
Awesome experience?
Well, it was shitty and sleety and snowy. But I walked in here, it was like near Christmas time, and there was a choir that filed in, and they were going to start rehearsing. And we were like, may as well sit here and see if they're any good. And it wasn't the Vienna Boys Choir, but it was like that caliber. It was like a boys' choir that was angelic. That was in 1995. We even took a river cruise.
Hey, Jeremy. Where are we?
Budapest.
Yeah. Where specifically in Budapest?
Well, we're on the Pest side. That's Buda side. And there's bats. And this is the Danube. And I'm watching for rats on the bank.
Jeremy, where are we?
We're in Budapest.
And tell me about these lovely green goggles you got on.
Well, they saved me from the pouring rain yesterday.
Yeah,
I bought them basically for one day and they were absolutely worth it.
yeah.
I couldn't see with these glasses because my navigation was in a plastic bag.
Yeah.
And these are polarized and there was rain all over it and I couldn't see.
So now you can see. Good.
Now I can see.
Yeah. What are we gonna do now?
Going to excuse me for brunch.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to Romania.
Yeah.
After brunch, and riding the wrong way on a one-way street out of frustration, another travel day from Budapest, Hungary to Sibs, Romania. Another destination highway. From our hotel, we ride the Transalpina in Romania. The Transalpina, also called the King's Highway, is the highest paved road in Romania. More on that in a moment. Again, a core memory ride for us today. We start in Curtea de Argeș, and we actually ride away from our final destination today. That's right. We're now so close to Bulgaria that we're confident enough to tack on some extra kilometers just to look around. We stop in at the Poneri Citadel, a residence of Vlad the Impaler, before riding the famous Transfagarasan, Romania's second highest paved road. We end up in Făgăraș for night. Now, you'll notice that I kind of skipped over two of the best roads on this journey just now. That's because, you guessed it, the Transalpina and the Transfagarasan are so fantastic that they deserve their own full-length video. I'll link to that at the end of this video too, and if you only watch one of the videos that I link to at the end, I recommend this one. Romania is a motorcycle playground. But on this day, now closing in on Bulgaria where we plan to store the bikes, Elle and I slow down and wander around Brasov for a bit, where we see the Black Church. Later, we also tour Bran Castle, a famous landmark in Romania that is marketed as Dracula's castle, but I don't know. It's cool, but it's not an essential visit in my opinion. Just by accident, Elle and I encounter scenic, narrow, twisty roads. I say by accident because I'm sure that this is not the normal route the way we found. I think my phone redirected us away from some construction or something like that, but I'm glad it did. This ride was unexpected and so fun. I don't think I could find this route again if I tried. We stayed in kind of a fancy hotel in Pitești, but it was still more affordable than in some of the countries we had just been through. Today would be our last real day of riding as we left Pitești towards Bulgaria. But the adventure wasn't over just yet.
My phone's on drugs.
Okay, that was a pretty interesting road.
We have to take a ferry, but my phone led me here. It says make a U-turn now. Go back and ask those people.
Let's try and see what he says. They might say, you didn't get a ticket, whatever.
This is the part where we boarded that rust bucket ferry at the start of this video. My phone just directed us here and I followed it with a very low degree of confidence. It seemed like it was a ship for commercial traffic only. But as we approached the loading ramp, no one stopped us. In fact, no one seemed to even notice us until someone finally directed us where to park. Even after parking the bikes beside a large commercial vehicle, Elle and I weren't sure that this vessel would carry us to the other side of the river. What's happening?
I know. Where I'm following you. That's all I know any day, Jeremy. Yeah, there's often times when I follow you and wonder, where are we going and what is happening? We're on a boat. We're on a ferry, thank goodness. In the foreign country, it's still called ferry boat, and it's easy to read.
This is the Danube. I think we may have just boarded a commercial trucking ferry by accident. We didn't pay anything.
He waved us on, right?
Yeah.
Did wave at one point.
He waved.
Yeah.
So that guy waved. But we passed by a ticket window. There was nobody there.
We tried to pay. There was no one to pay to. There's no way to pay.
So we might be stowaways.
Oh no, this guy's going off. Interesting.
We might be stowaways, Elle. Not the first time you've been a stowaway.
That's a steep ramp.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing. Finally, another pair of local motorcyclists boarded right next to us and told us that yes, we were in the right place and the ferry was not expensive. We would pay at the other side, in Bulgaria. So, will you say hi? Okay, yeah. Fellow motorcyclists, they are on that motorcycle there. Hey, Elle, I think we're underway.
Yep.
Would you like to take me for a quick cruise around the back to the motorcycles? Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go for a wide angle view. No. Okay.
Lots more spider webs. There's some of those in the toilet too.
Okay, you're dismissed. You're dismissed. You can go back in the shade. Thank you. Thank you for being a great model and a great model of motorcycle therapy. You can buy the t-shirt on my website, motorcycletherapy.com. Oh, hey, here. Elle and I had a maximum of 19 days to do this run from Portugal to Motocamp Bulgaria. But remember, that includes us getting back to London, England to catch our flight home to Canada. So it was day 16 when we pulled into Motocamp Bulgaria, but we still had some work to do getting the bikes into storage. We were on schedule, but there was no surplus time.
Okay, Jeremy. Where are we?
Well, I don't know, Bulgaria.
We're in Bulgaria. We just ate breakfast, and this is the last time that we're riding these bikes. Where are we going?
Well, we're heading back to Bulgaria Motocamp, and then we're going to take off these bags if we can, and park the motorcycle, disconnect the batteries, pack up our stuff.
It's
and
the end of
hit
the
airport.
journey.
Yep, we're going to the airport. We're flying to Poland.
Yeah, for a changeover, and then
to England. Yeah.
It's the end of the trip.
Hey, Patty, and everyone on the internet. We're at Overland. Nope, we're not at Overland. We're at Bulgaria Motocamp. Motocamp Bulgaria. I'm not going to bother retaking this. We are where we are, and we found this magazine, the first edition ever of Overland magazine. The Overland Event, by the way, is top shelf. You got to go. Now I'm talking not to Patty, because of course he's going to go to the Overland. Anyway, here's a bunch of stuff.
Thanks for making the Overland a thing and for this magazine. It's awesome shit. Thank you, Patty.
Anyway, we did it. But we did it with a lot of help from our friends, new and old. I won't mention everyone, but thanks especially to Paul and Francois from London, Paddy Tyson and crew from the Overland Event in Oxford, new friends at Motocamp Bulgaria, Kinga Tanajewska from the YouTube channel On Her Bike, and of course, thanks to Bruce and Tinica from Alberta, Canada. Thanks for loaning us your motorcycles, thanks for giving us your trust, and thanks for giving me and Elle this great opportunity. It was a fun summer. Oh, and thanks to you who are watching this now and supporting the channel. Why not stick around for another video?